So, Vahiguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vahiguru Ji Ki Fateh. It's quite a pleasure and quite an honor to be here with all of you to celebrate the 350th commemoration of Guru Gobind Singh's Utsav. My topic today is Kalgian Valia and I. It's a very, very broad topic, but it's a personal topic as well. And before I go there, I'd like to start with a poem written by Vahiguru Singh, which I translated. And this is what Rani Kaur on separation from Kalgian Valia says. Punjab Kaur pleads, O Kalgian Valia, with folded hands I plead, come back to my fields. Turn your horse around, please come back. Listen, beloved, my sons were stubborn and deceitful. During your difficult times, they left you with a Gadava. They did not fulfill their promises, but you are the forgiver. With folded hands I plead, come back to my fields. Turn your horse around, please come back. Listen, beloved, my soil is unfortunate. It gave birth to tyrants. They trampled on your chest and drank cups of poison. They did not recognize your essence. You forgave their transgressions and endured their cruelty. You did not dwell on their failings. You, the forgiver, the wondrous giver, you forgave from heart and mind, O eternal, compassionate one. Kalgian Vala speaks. Listen, my beautiful, pleasing land. I came to end the poison. I gave Amrit to your lals and woke them up. They beautified and glorified you. Listen, O fortunate mother. Fold your hands before the beloved. Remain in Naam. Forsake Maya. You will flourish. Punjab Kaur, please. Even then, O Kalgian Valia, listen. With folded hands I plead, come back to my fields. Turn your horse around, please, come back. This is how Vahiguru Singh, the master poet, the poet genius, and my Pitaji sees Kalgian Valia. And this is what Professor Puran Singh writes about the art, about the paintings of the Gurus. And this is what he says. When I stand before the pictures you call those of the Gurus, I feel as much disgusted as when I look at the ugly idols of Krishna of the Hindus in the temples of Vrindavan. For goodness sake, burn all your brushes and throw away your canvases. You have not risen to the level of men, and the craft of an artist is way beyond you. You have not yet been able to grasp the essentials of the appreciation of the art of the beautiful. You need to learn how to wear a pearl necklace and how to adorn yourself before you dare approach the beautiful. This is how the two men who ebb and flow in my consciousness talk about the topic which I am going to speak to you about today. So you know how I am feeling right now, very small. So I want to tell you, this is a new love. You know, it's a budding love. This love is in an infancy stage, and therefore maybe the depth is missing, and for that I apologize. And I begin with Inni Kaur, from where everything flows. Inni Kaur, the light flowing through the 10, forms changing, light remaining the same. And now this light flows from the Guru Granth Sahib. Yes, we know this intellectually, that the one light, the 10 forms, and now it is on the Guru Granth Sahib. We know that. Even I know that, emotionally, also. But there was a distance for me. There was a distance between the 10th Padsha and I. But in the December of 2015, while I was recuperating from a car accident, unable to read, I was listening to Kirtan from the Barsad, which was streaming live. And one night, there was a Shabad that really touched me. And I asked a friend of mine, what is this Shabad? Whose is it? I haven't heard it. And he said, this is Bhai Nand Lal's words. I'd heard about Bhai Nand Lal, but I'd never read his work. Lo and behold, a few weeks later, I get 2 books in the mail, and they're the ghazals of Bhai Nand Lal. And I begin to read them because they're short, and my eyes can't handle it. Through the words of Bhai Nand Lal, my love for the Pacha begins. I begin to see him through Bhai Nand Lal's words. And when I'm strong enough, I reach out for Kalgida Chamatkar, and my journey begins. But everything, it happened then in November. In November, Punjab Digital Library asked us to help or to be part of this wonderful exhibition which the government of Bihar had asked them to participate and to produce. And immersed in that exhibition, the love just blossomed. And that is the love. How I see Kalgian Valia is what I want to share with you. So it's a personal journey through the art. But we must keep in mind that the portraits of the Gurus are just portraits. There were no portraits of the Gurus done. But human beings, which we are, we need visuals. And so I use the artists, their art, to tell the story. And this art is the art that the Punjab Digital Library is using at the exhibit. So we begin with this beautiful scene which just touches me. This is the story of young Govind Rai, where he's on the bank of the Ganga. And he throws, while playing with his friends, he throws a gold bracelet into the water. He goes home, and his mother asks him, what happened to the gold bracelet? And he said, well, I threw it in the river. So she, of course, is a little upset, and she sends her brother with him, go find the bracelet. And they go to the river, and the uncle, Kirpal, Mama, asks him, well, where did you throw the bracelet? And he takes it off from his other hand, and he throws it. And he said, there. And then he says something very interesting, as written in Kalgida Chamatkar. He says, I don't want to go against my father's advice, and I don't want to be a slave to the colored clay gold. And then then I think about all the gold karas which I see around. And I just leave it at that, because this is what this tells me. There's another story which I want to share with you, going with young Govind Rai. And this is in Patna. Rani Fateh Chand Maini, she is childless. And more than anything else, she wants to be called a mother. And young Govind Rai, while playing, he enters her courtyard and he goes and sits in her lap and says, Mother. She is beyond thrilled because Balam Pritam, who is the darling of everyone in Patna, has sat in her lap and called her mother. He goes home and he tells his mother, I've adopted another mother. And she says, how shall you be a son of 2 mothers? And he says, like the 2 eyes have one vision, like that. But you are one, she says. How will you play in the lap of 2 mothers? And she says, as the moon plays in the 2 lakes at the same time. These are profound words. I'm not quite sure why this story has captured my heart, but I did want to share with you. The moon in Gurbani, we all know what it represents. And it is the one moon, and we are the many. And it is, if it enters our hearts, how do we feel? And we come to the next image, which I wanted to, and then young Govind Rai leaves his birthplace, Patna, and he goes to Anandpur Sahib. Different sights he sees along the way, and we come to the Darbar of Anandpur Sahib, where we have Kashmiri Brahmins pleading their case before the ninth Pacha. And he says, young Gobind Rai says something, and he says, who better than you, Father, to do this? And I wonder at the relationship between the father and son. Think about how strong it was. And we talk about the relationship, about the Sabsadas, what they must be feeling. Think about what this is. This is all that. It's all building. Young Gobind Rai is only 9 years old, and he says something so profound to his father. Take a look, the artist has tried his best to capture the image. You've got the soft halos there. And there is a scene, you get the feeling of the Darbar, and there's a reference. The Brahmins are all there. They're looking differently, all of them. Every different sect has been represented. One is even bowing. So the artist wants us to look at that and say, this was a major event. And this was a major event in Sikh history. We all know what happened in Chandni Chowk that day, that fateful day, that unfaithful day. And this is the day when even the elements screamed and said that something so tragic was going on and so wrong. And a dust storm sweeps through Delhi. And in that dust storm, the body of the ninth Pacha is carried, and the precious head of the ninth Pacha is taken to Anandpur Sahib and is given to the young Guru. The head of his father Guru presented before the young Guru. Look at the scene. The artist has done his best to capture it. There are two very faint halos there. And I look at that. One cannot help but be overpowered as to how do you capture that scene. Think of it from the artist's perspective. How do you, a monumental event like that, a tragic event, and yet he has done it the best way he can. I want to digress a little bit here, because when I look at that image, for me it could be a biblical image. And this is where culture plays a part. We are all products of our culture. We absorb without even knowing. And to me, this artist, I look at it, this artist is raised in the Christian tradition. Because when I looked at it, because so am I, the way I looked at it, this was the three wise men. This could have been a biblical scene. So unbeknown to us, we are products of our culture. We absorb it. It becomes a part of us, and we represent it in any shape and form. Your children who are here in America, and the people who are listening, they're absorbing it osmosis. You don't even know what they're absorbing. And it's when you have time to create, that it comes out in that. It comes out in your poetry, it comes out in your painting, in your sculpture. Whatever you do, it flows from that. And then we come to the next scene. This is Guru Gobind Rai Sahib at Ponta. Sahib, this is where verse, music flowed. Actually, this is the place where there was verses in Farsi, Sanskrit, Arabic, Braj. This was the court where everything began, and then it carried on to Anandpur Sahib. But I want you to look at the scene. There's the Jamna at the back. Sikh history is always part of the rivers. If you look, every event is the rivers of Punjab very much connected with the Sikh history. There's great depth there. And Pittaji has written an amazing poem. And this is through the eyes of Jamna. And Jamna speaks, he camped on my shores that Veena player, the fountain of life. Laughing and sporting, he swam in me. I leapt and I laughed. I forgot myself. Was it an illusion? Did he bathe in me, or did I bathe in him? It's a very long verse. I urge you to read it. It's beautiful. And at the end, Jamna says, because she goes looking for him, and she can't find him. And she says, if this is the pain you have left me with, then I welcome this pain. I will wait for you till eternity. This is the love which Jamna has. This is the love which we, as Sikhs, is being shown to us to have for Guru. We come to the next image. This is an amazing scene. You can see a lot of activity happening. And here, this drama. I mean, you have the horses, you have everything going on. And this totally captures me because this is what Padshah has done. Guru redefines everything for us, right? And so now he's redefined holy. He's called it Hola Mahalla. And this is where the poets and the warriors all get together. And they're dyed and are being trained in this rang, which we have in Bani, the color of love. This is what the warriors and the poets want to be in. For I take a verse, a passage from Bani. For who is a warrior? Think about it. And this is what it is. One colored with the love of the all-pervasive in this world is called a warrior. And this is what Padshah wants us to do. Ask his beloved Sikhs to play holy, be dyed and drenched in the rang of love, in the rang of Vahiguru, in the rang of Ikhunkar. That is the permanent rang I want you to play in, not the kacha rang, which is being played in holy. Think about it, the pakka rang. And the next is, because this is a budding love, and when you're in a relationship and you're just getting to know somebody, it's all very exciting and you discover things. And this, while I was doing my research, I found out that Padshah, yes, I knew he played the taus and the other musical instruments, but I never knew that he composed rags and he began a new system. The khayal form of singing is a gift from Padshah to the South Asian tradition of music. Whatever Guru touches, Guru enlarges. So if Guru touches you, you enlarge. Guru touched the music, and the music grew, and all the Sikh elements were added to that wonderful, already existing tradition, but made it much, much larger. So in my wordy way, because I love words, I call Padshah the maestro of maestros, because maestros compose, but this is even beyond that. We all know about the call. We all know in 1699 what happened when Guru sent out a call. When South Asia was on the move, everyone was moving towards Anandpur Sahib because they knew something momentous was going to happen. Guru had called, a tent is set up, and Guru asks for a head, and the call is answered. And we have, through Amrit, the 5 lovers become compassionate, Daya, faithful, Dharam, courageous, Himmat, loyal, Mokham, sovereign, Sahib. The proclamation of the first Padshah is now institutionalized by the 10th Padshah. Those who want to play the game of love must walk on the path with their heads on their palm. We wonder what happened in the tent, and we have all these amazing theories. This happened, this could have happened. But the truth of the matter is, what happens between Guru and a Sikh is very private. It's like a sacred moment. And it's forever etched in the DNA of that Sikh. And I believe it should be left at that. So what took place in that tent, I don't know. But it's enough to know that those 5 lovers changed, their lives got changed, and the course of the Panth got changed. And all of us benefited. But that was not all that happened that day. From these 5 enthroned ones, my Kalgian Vala takes Amrit. And he establishes the order of the Khalsa. And he joins the Commonwealth of the Khalsa. Thousands join this Khalsa order that day and are bestowed with this gift, this royal gift of sing and call. What an amazing gift. So it was all of us got lifted. Singh and Kaur was bestowed. I come to the next one, my Pago. We all know the story. How could I not include her in this presentation? The woman who shamed the deserters, who then fought alongside men, and then rose to become Guru's personal bodyguard. She empowered all women. We don't need anybody to empower us. Guru did. Guru has done that. And this is that image for me. Imagine, think of it, at that time period, what Guru did. He broke the shackles of caste, yes, in 1699, but this is something greater, huge. Imagine having a woman bodyguard today, even today. Think about it. So I love this image. And there she challenges them, and she talks about it. And then we come to the separation, when on the request of the Panch Pyares, Pacha has to leave Anandpur. And he bows to their wishes. And we use the word escape. And I want to say that I don't like to use the word escape, because Guru didn't escape. Guru cannot escape. He went out in royal form. Look at that. And we know that. He said, whoever wants me knows that I am leaving. Guru did not escape. Guru does not escape. We have to change our language. We have to think in a different way when we speak about Guru. Don't make Guru small. Guru is vast. So on their request, he leaves. And we know the scene of the river, Sirsa, and the crossing, and how there is this tremendous separation from his children, separation from his mother, separation from the literature. We lose a lot of literature in the river. Everything is happening at that same time. But my heart tightens when I look at that image, because the artist has portrayed Guru with his face turning back. Guru never looks back. Guru is always looking ahead. This is when we look at art. Unless the artist is not immersed in Sikh thought, Sikh history, they cannot portray it. Because they don't know, they will make mistakes. And it's not mistakes, not that. But really, this is what we're poor in saying is, don't touch art unless you're not immersed in it. Don't write if you are not in love. That is what the Puran Singh is telling me. You bring a mango to someone and they say, well, you can tell all the attributes of the mango. The mango is like this, you can do the DNA, the scientists will tell you, it is like this, it is like this. But then you give the mango to somebody who eats it and enjoys that taste and say, now you write about it. That's what we need to do. Those are the artists we need to create, the ones who are in love, who have experienced that love of Guru. And when they paint, that is the art, which is yet to be produced. Because right now, all this art is borrowed from either the biblical traditions or the Pahari traditions. It's not Sikh art as yet. Hopefully it will get there, but it's not there yet. Yes. These are the three frames, right? We have to put together a collage of what happened to the Sahibzades. This is not a work of art. I mean, yes, they're works of art, but it's not an image which will capture you. But this is the story. Look at it. Look at it in the way that this is where the Sava Lakh phrase comes in. Look, they're surrounded, and yet they're defiant. Sikh history is all about defiance. If you want to play that game of love, be ready to put your hand on that palm. This is that. Very much there, again and again, it shows us. And the words of Mata Gujre. When
we don't need English. Why we are promoting English?
So,
बच्चा कार अंग्रेजी जरा जा बोलना सी उनके ने बच्चा पंजाबी बोल तुझे ऐसे सारा मैसेज अंग्रेजी दे रहे हैं
so Hanji, in the next presentation is Punjabi.
No.
So in this, the words of Mata Gujre haunt me because she tells her Pyare Lal before leaving, remember who you are. And this is something which we need to remember. Remember who we are. At every point in time in our life, we need to remember. So we come to the next scene, which is Madhudas, Bairagi. The first Pacha, he asked Bhai Mardana to accompany him. That was a request of the first Pacha. And here is the 10th Pacha. He goes to Madhudas. And Madhudas is, he's a really high-powered sannyasi and a yogi. He has all the supernatural powers. He knows exactly what is happening. And Pacha enters his domain and he knows, he senses it. And he tries all his supernatural powers. And he tells Pacha, I can make snakes fly. I can turn day into night. I can make the Godavari rise. And Pacha says, are you a magician? Think about it. And yet we have people with all these supernatural powers. What does that tell you in Sikhi? When Pacha says, is that magic, what you are doing? And then this conversation takes place. And this sannyasi, this yogi, gives up everything and becomes Guru's slave, Banda. He submits to that surrender takes place. And Guru gives him his arrows, 5 arrows and a bow, and tells him, go to Punjab and defend, break the Mughal tyranny, break it. And to us, whenever we remember Guru Sahib, the image of Banda Singh Bahadur comes to mind. Whenever we remember the first Pacha, Bhai Mardana comes to mind. Think about it, these are the men chosen by Guru. So we must be careful how we talk about them. Because they were chosen by Guru for a specific purpose and task. So last presentation, last slide. And this is where I shamelessly steal the words of Bhai Nandlal. For to me, he was the one who saw Guru. And he saw Guru in all Guru's majesty. And this is what Bhai Nandlal says. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib is the emperor of emperors. The Guru's grandness transcends the Roman emperors, the Chinese and the Turkish emperors, the Iranian kings, the Chinese kings, the Russian emperors, and even the Raos, the South Asian rulers of India at that time. So what can I say about my Kalgian Valia? My words are insipid, but my love is budding. So I dare to share with you a few lines. O Kalgian Valia, I have given up worldly desires and attached myself to your feet. Your remembrance has become a part of me. Now come and meet me, O Kalgian Valia. Dyed in your colour, there is a joy within me. I'm waiting for you. When will you come, O Kalgian Valia? So with that, I leave you. Vahiguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vahiguru Ji Ki Fateh.